So we'll call this meeting to order. Call the roll, please.
Kinsey.
Here.
Mossberg.
Here.
Klein.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Loxton.
Here. We have a quorum, so we'll go on to the next item. Approval of minutes of regular meeting held 12 February 2024.
Would it be possible to amend the meetings? Mr. Weidner was also had other pilots here as well. There was 3 other pilots that were also here. In support of that. Is that possible?
For item 5?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
You're making a motion.
Make a motion that we accept the meetings with the addition, Mr. Weidner and 3 other pilots are expressing their concern for the fuel truck.
Second. Call the roll, please.
Klein.
Yes?
Parker.
Yes.
Loxton.
Yes.
Kinsey.
Yes.
Mossberg.
Yes.
Okay, next we'll go on to the next item, reports from staff. Go to the city council report first.
We started this week with department budget meetings. We'll meet with Derek here before Wednesday or Tuesday, I can't remember which. Wednesday. At 11 o'clock. And I think Paul also. You've got the finance. Let me actually go through maybe a couple other things going on. So anyway, budget meetings are going on. We did meet last week, or earlier this. When was it?
It was last week.
Last
Thursday.
special meeting. One to approve a change order for the turf project at Rec Park. There's the drainage needed to be redesigned a little bit to make sure that we didn't float the field with a heavy rain. So that was approved in the ADA meeting, and then we also, this is going to end up having an effect on almost every department within the city, but we're approved to negotiate a contract with Apprentice Information Technology. I don't know what their name is. Apprentice is the name of the company, but they're an IT provider. And so we had a request for proposals that was out, and they're the ones that we're going to move forward with, and that was approved at the City Council also in a special meeting. So we'll probably having some changes with our computer systems, all across the city. So we're meeting early here for airport board, but we're also meeting early for, not early, but it's earlier in the month than usual for city council next week. So we'll have that. As far as the finances are concerned, the revenues, mostly because the grant revenue has come in already, but we're really close to meeting our total revenue budget. But if you look at the next page and you look at charges for services, we're still down on the year, and that's mostly because we were, closed down for construction and whatnot for a period of time. But I don't know, we're trending such that we may still meet our budget goal for revenue. We have some more fuel months like what we had in February and keep going. I think we may still meet that budget goal for charges for services. Other than that, expenses are on track with what we were anticipating. Lots of projects that we've taken on, we planned on taking on that we added once the fiscal year started. So I guess all that. I give an update on the pool too, I guess. Swimming pool project is on schedule, and it's the demolition's complete, and they're getting the elevations set for the final construction. The pool contractor is working away on that.
What was its completion date theoretically?
January 25. That'll, not that we want them to have any delays, but that'll give them time for some delays and still hopefully be able to be open come May.
Any questions for the manager? If not, we can go on to the next item, which would be airport manager's report.
February, like I said, was actually a really good month. Apparently, February is ski season for the rich folks, so had a lot of jet traffic from East Coast going to Colorado. So hopefully that kind of continues on, but so far this month, we're right about on track to have another good month. So the 100 low lid total sold was $12,974.91. Total Jet A sold was $32,944.20. About 2,500 of that was survival flight, and like I said, most all of that was CAA corporate, personal jet. So we did sell some oil, and we sold some more merchandise for a total of $46,150.21.
Does survival flight use just the pump, or do they also use the truck?
Both. Yeah, when I put it in on all this, it lumps the truck
Oh, I
and
see.
the pump together, so I just go through and sort it out. But they normally will do it off the pump, but if we're here, it's just as easy for us to get the truck out. So
What, our low lid, that's about twice the volume of what we normally. What do you attribute that to?
nice weather. We just had nice weather and low fuel prices. I mean, we're 450, but everybody else is 480 something, and $5. And we're getting people going a little bit out of their way just to stop here. And we've had a lot of repeat customers. They'll go back and they'll come through, and then they'll go back. It's kind of, but mostly I would accrue that to nice weather. People getting out and flying. I've had, in the last 2 weeks, I've had three between companies and some other personal jets ask for overnight hangars for their jets. So that's still something that maybe will need some attention. I know it would probably draw in a little more traffic. I've had troubles with the green Buick. It's got some sort of electrical issues. It keeps draining. We thought it was we replaced the alternator and the battery at the same time because they were both bad. And we thought maybe we got a faulty alternator, but took it off and got it tested, and it's fine. So they said charge the battery. So we charged the battery, but it still dies. So I don't know if we need to get one of those little switch deals or not, but it's out there dead right now. People are tired of working on it. There's mainly getting the equipment ready for mowing season. I've kind of got everything lined out. I've started spraying. Now I have to just pick in the mornings when it's not so windy, because the afternoons would get a little windy. We do have 2 seasonal help employees hired. Just kind of waiting to get them through the whole process to get them started. I do have a part-time employee for the weekends hired, so that'll work out pretty well. And then Wheeler Brothers did come out and spray their normal area that they spray. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
All right, so the fuel truck, half-gas truck, we're still waiting on that PTO for that. So would it be possible for us to bring the truck back here and just I know we can't put our own PTO on there, but maybe we could put an electric pump of some kind on there, or just electric motor to run the pump, because that's not part of the, of the truck. That's our tank and our equipment, right?
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, because it just seems like they're not able to find this PTO, or it's just, lost in, I don't know, maybe it's at the bottom of Red Sea right now, I don't know where it's at, but maybe we can get some usefulness out of the truck. But we've got some pretty resourceful guys here that can figure out ways to make that pump work temporarily. So would that be a possibility? I mean, we're not going to lose our place in line.
No, we
Get
don't.
the truck back. And,
Next our truck, we can do whatever we want.
I didn't know if that was something that been discussed, or you want to kind of check into that and see if we can.
Well, we've discussed some stuff. I guess custom discussed some options, so we'll kind of see how it goes this next week.
Just thinking into the near future, we've got the Young Eagles flight's going to be happening in April, and it might not be a bad thing to have a truck, because not everybody's going to be able to fit their plane up there. True, a lot of guys will tank their gas in, and they may not need it going back out, but there might be a few that need it, and they're all going to want to go at the pump at the same time.
Well, there's only going to be 5 or 6 planes, and so they'll be going up quite often. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty small circuit that they usually take. They don't, flights not that long.
I mean, I think Derrickson is probably being more aggressive in trying to find out information. And if we can get a part number, a description of what it is they order, do verification of the order, to make sure that they indeed have ordered a part, that we're not being fed a line. And it also allows us to independently search for that. I like the idea of getting the truck back here to bring a stop to this month-to-month situation that we're in right now, because we're in this 4 months at this point. And another idea that's floated is potentially having a special board meeting with a Zoom meeting with the president of whoever owns that business up there. Get them on with us so we can have a face-to-face about this and bring some finality to it and get some hard deadlines. So those are some options. And we hired Derek to manage. He's manage, problem solve. And if he is not happy with the answers he's getting, he may need to call a special board meeting and do some of that. That's the way I see it. I mean, I'm only 1 of 5.
I'm open to that.
What do you think? I mean, is that
Yeah,
all on?
some other option. I mean, if it's a temporary solution, or something where we can find another permanent solution and get around where the log jam that we're in now.
Yes. I mean, even if we have to come back and celebrate a new Isuzu, get something different that actually we get parts for.
Yeah, I would say get it set up, just tell us when.
We can do that down at city council where we have the, we can do it down at city council where we have access to the AV equipment too.
Wherever. We need to light a fire somehow.
Or you can tell them to drive up here, fly up here, whatever.
I know people that would fly up there, get them and bring them down.
And I don't want to talk to their salesperson either. If we're going to do this, we need somebody that can make decisions.
Okay. Anything else for the airport manager? No, we'll go on to the next item. Discussion and action concerning the sale of the 2016 Freightliner M2106 for a price of $68,900.
I think we should get rid of it, cover losses and go find something that's the right size, to be honest with you. It's gonna be too tall to park under, like, the gentleman kind of informed us last time. I think we just need to sell it for what we paid for it and go find something that's the right size and will work for us. We're trying to look around within the city to see if there's any other departments that need it. I'm just not convinced anybody needs anything that big. So we're looking into that as a means to basically get the airport back the money, go find something that's the appropriate size. And if we can't use it in the city, then we'll put it on all the surplus websites and all that kind of stuff and get it sold that way.
Discussion? Do we need a motion?
When you say surplus, there's the city, all this, the Oklahoma cities have a surplus site or just?
There's a number of different websites. I say surplus just because we have to go to the city council, probably get classified as surplus to sell it, don't we?
Well, yeah, we would.
So
Process would be, it would be declared surplus, and then we can do a number of things to actually get rid of it at that point, liquidate it at that point, whether it be sealed bids or put it on Purple Wave. I mean, we have a number of methods at our disposal that we can, legally pursue in order to liquidate the truck. But
Can we just call up the dealer we brought it from and say you misled us and you don't work for our purpose and give us our money back and here's your truck?
we can do that as well. I mean, if we do that, it's technically not surplus.
Well, I don't know if it's city-wise you can do that or not, but it's just, if it's a personal item, that's what I do.
It's not like we put any more miles on it. I mean, the thing's in really good condition.
Yes.
we can check on that this week, and if we need to, that helps make a decision whether or not we surplus it. And if we have to, we can still get on city council
I'll say-
for next week.
Yeah.
Because if it's surplus, then we're not replacing it, but we're replacing it. Because it's not that it's surplus, it's that it's not going to work for what we need.
Yeah, it doesn't fit our needs.
So
Maybe they have something in now that would fit our needs.
they might.
I guess I'm just nervous at this point, this early in the stage of putting it out on like Purple Wave,
We won't get, I don't,
where there's no, it's whatever it is, and it goes for half of what we paid for it. We take our lump, but I would hate to do that at this point.
any auction that we would do bidding wise, we would have the ability to put a reserve on it, So,
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about going in the hole with it. Because I wouldn't do it without a reserve. That reserve being whatever we paid.
I know some of those
We
things
might be able to
let
sell
you
it for
do.
more than what we paid for it too. I
That's
don't know.
Yeah, it's in great shape, that truck. Looks brand new.
So, I guess I'll make a motion to recommend the sale, liquidation of the 2016 Freightliner M2106 for a price not less than $68,900.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Sorry, Kinsey, did you second?
Yes, ma'am.
Parker,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Mossberg,
Yes.
Logston.
Yes. Go on to the next item, number 6, discussion and action to award the bid for install jet fuel tank to Innovative Fueling Solutions in the amount of $540,272.50.
So you can see the documents that were in the packet online. And we opened bids on March 1st. Toby with Park Hill was up here and kind of just, we had 3 bidders. There was question whether one of them was going to be disqualified, but we didn't end up disqualifying anybody. And the lowest bid was for the base bid, alternate 1 and alternate 2. The lowest combined was for Innovative Fueling Solutions, and that bid at $541,647.50 was, just a couple $1,000s more than what Toby estimated it to be.
I have a question on that.
Okay.
So that pink area there, none of those line items match up to this one that they gave us. So where did they come up with those numbers? Because I've been in every meeting except one, and I have not gotten anything from Park Hill since they issued this one. And this is what we sent our application in on to the OAC, and we've worked from. But those line items here do not, the number amounts do not match up in that pink area
I can't answer that, Paul.
that they show here. I mean, they're inflated. I don't understand.
These are inflated?
Yeah,
What's the date on that?
there is no date. This is the only one that we received to this point. Unless I missed the January meeting, it's the only meeting I have missed since this one was issued.
We didn't discuss it in January.
And so this is the one that we've been working off of. This is the one that we were able to get the grant from Sharon. And yet, these numbers are new here.
The numbers that are on this page, is it
Yes.
pink?
Yes.
I don't know why they don't match,
Okay.
but I do know that it was also in a sealed envelope when we did the bid opening.
These numbers?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean,
So
it's
they
just,
may have updated them for,
well, again, my question is did the city, did the manager or you receive any documents from Park Hill that updated those numbers?
we've got the engineer's estimate that we opened in the sealed bid meeting.
I mean, yeah, prior to that, you had nothing. So, I mean, so this is new to you also then?
If they don't match, I'd say, yeah, they're new.
Okay. And then, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the other thing is that in this one, there was a $25,000 allotment for like the Fuel Master credit card terminal, and of course, we're not doing Fuel Master, we want the, but that's not in here.
That's lumped in with
One of those
line items.
line items.
Yeah. And there's also, he shot high on an estimate for the primary electrical to go to the tank because we couldn't get back from OG&E a number of what it would cost for him to run that line from that green box to.
Well, so like in here, you have installed electrical service 20,000. Is that the allotment for OG&E, or is that the electrical system just around the tank?
That's for OG&E.
But then over here, on B2, you have a line item just separate for OG&E for 20,000. Wouldn't that be included here then, in this amount?
The installed electrical service, line item number 5, 20,000?
Install electrical service is 20,000, so that's OG&E there.
That may not cost us 20,000.
I understand, but there's also a 20,000 on this page.
page is that?
This is on the Exhibit B2 of what they sent, what we sent into the state, or what we got back.
It's further down on the PDF, I believe.
I get, I'm not, I'm for the project, I'm just trying to make the numbers. I'm trying to understand the numbers and where they came from, and what's combined and what's not.
Yeah, it's further down on the.
I mean, those aren't questions that we ask Toby, but we can ask Toby.
But you understand where I'm coming from. I just don't want something to magically appear.
I know that they were going off the numbers of the current project that they were doing at 2 other airports for this.
On this one, I understand that this was an estimate, we knew all that up front, and then the numbers could change.
We never got into that.
But this was in the bid packet, right? This is when you guys first saw this. When did the numbers change from this to this?
I think Derek's right though, because they've completed other fuel projects since they prepared the estimate.
Well, no, they based this one on ones that they completed. Think additionally completed?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
more recent.
We have more
All
recent.
right, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out where it went from this to this, because I had nothing to show why there were increases here.
Yeah, he was saying because on the most recent ones that they've just completed or they're in the process of
Okay,
engineering.
well, that makes sense. I just wanted to make sure that I can't figure out why all of a sudden this appeared. But that's a rational explanation, and that's fine with me. But then I was curious as to why we did not have included in this $486,000 for the tank, why the fuel head. It was a separate line item on this. Is it included in some line item on this?
I want to say it is because it was a package deal with
Well, that's $25,000 for, I think it might be, as opposed to knowing.
Well, I know
He's
he's got the QT pod in, and we'll probably get it cheaper because ASAP is the dealer, and since we already purchased one, he said we might be able to get a better deal on a second one.
Hey, Toby, we're in the airport meeting looking at the bids for the jet fuel tank.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to let Board Member Kinsey, Paul has a question on the engineer's estimate.
Okay.
Hi, Toby.
How are you, sir?
Just fine. You're used to me because I'm the one to always ask questions.
No problem.
So I just have a general question just to satisfy my curiosity. I am looking at the Park Hill estimate that you guys did initially so that we could provide information to the Aviation Commission in order to apply for the bid. Knowing, you had factored in 10% contingency and all that, and based on previous projects you had done. And we knew that those numbers could change going into this project.
Sure.
But then in the bid packet, or what was presented to the board members here, we have our sheet where it shows what the 3 different companies, the amounts that they bid, and then in the first column is the Park Hill, and it's a pink column with your numbers in it.
Yes, sir.
Your numbers changed from that first sheet to this sheet. What influenced the changes of those numbers? Because they pretty much all went up.
So we bid between when we did that original estimate with you, and when we did this, we bid a 10,000 gallon system in Broken Bow. And so typically when we prepare our engineer's estimate that gets filed with the bid, we're going to look at the most recent project that is similar to what we are, to what the bids that we're going to open.
Okay.
So that was based on a more current competitive bid that we had at the time we actually prepared our engineer's estimate for the bid opening than when we prepared the preliminary estimate, whatever it was, last fall or late last summer.
Right, okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. So then, in the original estimate, you had a separate line item for like the credit card terminal for like 25,000, and there is not a separate line item for that in the sheet here that shows all the bidding. Is that included in another line item and not separated out?
You're correct. It is included in the item for the jet fuel tank itself. I don't know if you have the full spec book there in front of you, but the F100 specification for the jet fuel tank, or system rather, includes that credit card reader in it.
Okay. And then line item 5 for installs, where it says install electrical service, is that the OG&E service we're talking about, or is that just electrical needs for the system itself?
So that is for basically from the meter forward to the system. So we'll have to have, a private electrician go from the meter to the system and do all the wiring of the system. Then in the grant application, which this isn't going to be reflected on your bid tab sheet because it wasn't part of the competitive bid, we have factored in, or added a line rather, for costs payable to OG&E to get service out to the new meter that will be located on an electrical rack next to the tank. We've been working, Derek, for nearly 6 weeks probably now, I think is when we first started. We got contact information from Derek with OG&E, and has still not been able to get any kind of a firm commitment on whether they're just going to get that service for us at no cost or if there's going to be a charge. So in the grant application, we put a $20,000 line item basically as a placeholder. And depending on, our hope is that OG&E will just forward the new service out to it and just call it good. But occasionally, if they determine they can't recoup their cost within a certain amount of time, there is a charge to get that new primary service room.
Okay. Thank you. That clarifies that. Is it okay if I ask, well, we have Toby on, if I ask him questions about the amendment?
Yeah, it's on the agenda, yeah.
I just, I'll follow you. Toby, I'm going to go to your amendment number 8.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that that I'm correlating things properly. If I look at number 8, see attachment number 2, if I go to line item A, is that the same as line item C on exhibit B2 of the grant application? Okay, so what I'm looking at then is, let's see. So the new line items that was on exhibit B2 of the grant application would be testing, which is covered in your amendment, and then prepare the SPCC plan, which was in the amendment. So then items A, that basically what you did is that's construction administration. That's the same as the construction administration in B2 then?
Yes, sir.
So that's not a new cost, it's just the same cost, or you increased it. Am I right? You increased it. Well, no, it was 8,000. It's 8,000 on page 2, and it's 8,000 on exhibit B2. So I was just curious as to, I didn't see any value change there. And then on item, let's see.
So I just want to clarify that. So the B2 is the budget based from the grant application.
Right.
Okay.
So,
And remember the grant, we have not previously submitted any grant application
just trying to, when I was reading this where it said that these were additional or modifications, as to which ones were additions and which ones were modifications.
I understand. I see what you're saying now. So nothing in Amendment 8 is a modification to anything that said. Everything in Amendment 8 is an addition.
It's all additions.
Correct.
All right, so, are these numbers in addition to then the 652,000?
No, sir. They're contained within it.
They're contained within, okay. All right, well, see, that's what I was trying to make sense now on your Exhibit B2, because it adds up to 652,000, so I was trying to make sure that I understood where those lump sums of A, B, C, and D equated over on list B2.
Gotcha. And I apologize, without having it directly in front of me, I can't tell you what corresponds line to line, but all of those tasks and fees are included on that B2. They're all
Okay.
included within that total grant budget.
All right, okay, that's what I want to make sure of, because when we said that they were additional services, I didn't know if that meant an additional cost beyond the 652,000.
I see what you're saying. So in our, the term additional services is language that is used within our master services agreement. And so that is the reason that language is utilized in the amendment. But it is not in addition to costs that are within that grant application. All of those are contained within that grant application.
Right. So right now, with the bids and everything received, we're looking at a hard ceiling of 652,000, more or less.
It bids plus all professional services plus OT&E, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. You answered my questions.
You're very welcome.
Oh, we got it. Is there anything else for Toby? All right, thanks, Toby.
You bet. You guys have a good evening.
You too.
Okay. We'll go back to item 6, discussion and action towards the bid for install of jet fuel tank to Innovative Fuel Systems in the amount of $540,272.50. Any more discussion on that?
The only question I really have, why is it 542.7250, but in here it shows them that, are they subtracting something off there? Because it shows the bid was at 541.647. Are they giving us the discount or something, or am I missing it? Did they subtract that?
Yeah, Steve, what? Is that a typo?
It probably is.
On the bid or on our?
I mean,
On the agenda, I think.
So it should be 541,647.
That's what
let me, hang on a second. Golly. We're earning it tonight.
Yeah.
And then, like, for the amendment.
Okay,
for 80,
so
would that just be the 96,000?
the agenda does not include alternate number 2 for whatever reason. 542.72.50 does not include alternate number 2, and it should. So yeah, the total should be 541,647.50. We may or may not incur alternate number 2. There may not be remediation that needs to occur, but if there is, DEQ pays for the remediation, and all we're asking them to bid with alternate 2 is coordination of that with DEQ. So, but that 1,375 got left off on the agenda. We're seeking to approve 541,647.50.
And, yeah, because the cover page says 542.72.50. That they sent, Parkville sent, so that's where that came from. So the cover page on those bids that they put in there, Park will put 540, 270, 250. So that's where that came from.
Yep.
And what did you say it should be, Kelly?
541, 647.50.
Sorry, I took it right off of Toby's thing, so.
That's all right.
Well, hold on.
I mean, that's.
I know that, we talked about that at the bid opening, that should be included in there.
Let me call him and make sure it's not. With this grant and all, we approved the wrong amount, and then we might. We'll get it right. If we're going to do it, let's get it right. Hey, it's me again. So we're looking at the total bid from Innovative Fueling, and our agenda item in your letter that you sent for the recommendation says $540,270,250. That looks like to me it does not include the amount for alternate number 2 for the coordination of remediation. Is that intentional, or is that what do we need to approve alternate number 2?
So if we were to find topsoil, that amount is not eligible for ODAA participation. So that would be 100% city funds. What we've essentially done is we've established the cost of that should we find topsoil, and we have to coordinate its removal using the corporation commission's indemnity fund. So my suggestion is we would just add that to the contract by change order if we have to. But we've already established what that value is within the bid.
Okay, so we are only approving the base bid and alternate number 1.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Clear as mud.
Yeah, these fuel projects are fun. They're interesting. Who will participate at what cost and who won't. Ultimately, if we do have to do remediation, that coordination cost will be 100% the cities. But the actual remediation cost, we can go to the corporation commission to get them to pay for that.
And if we do have to do that, that's not an amount that would need board approval. So when and if it happens, would just cause it to get done.
Oh, I see. Okay, understood. That makes sense.
All right.
Great question.
Thanks, Toby.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So, what Toby said.
So we would be okay to just change the motion to award the base bid and alternate number 1 to them for this amount. Subject to okay. All right, so I'm going to make a motion to award the base bid and the alternate number 1 to install the jet fuel tank to Innovative Fueling Solutions in the amount of $540,272.50, and subject to the receipt of the ODAA grant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Longston,
Yes.
Mossberg.
Yes.
Next, we'll go to item 7, is discussion and action to authorize the mayor to sign and submit to Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics grant application to partially fund the jet fuel project.
So, we've talked quite a bit about the numbers. This item, though, requires the mayor's signature, and so your action to authorize me to sign it then allows us to go ahead and get that done.
I make a motion that we authorize the mayor to sign and submit the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics grant application to partially fund the fuel tank project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Mossberg,
Yes.
Longston,
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
On to the next item, number 8, discussion and action to approve amendment number 8 to the owner-engineer agreement with Park Hill for professional professional services provided during construction.
I'll make a motion to approve amendment number 8 to the owner engineer agreement with Park Hill.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Parker,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Mossberg,
Yes.
Loxton,
Yes. Go on to the next item, number 9, discussion and action to renewal of 2 CDs that mature on March 21st and the next one on the 30th of March 2024.
So the one is for $121,129.44 plus whatever interest is accrued. That's for the airport stabilization fund. That is renews on the 21st, and then the other one is $62,630.42 for the airport fund, and that matures on the 30th. Basically, what I'm looking for here is just your recommendation so I can take the finance committee on, do you want to go out for bids for 3, 6, 12 months, or stick at 6 months? What would you like to see us try to come up with? Or just ask them to find us the best rate?
Finance committee has been we've got several CDs for the city. The 12-month rates have been better, obviously, right now, and we aren't seeing rates continue to increase anymore. So we are looking at anything that we can lock in at a higher rate. If it's not something that we're going to need liquidity, we're going, to that 12-month range and getting those quotes. I mean, the 3 and the 6 just aren't getting the rates up as high, so we're trying to maximize the return since the rates are starting to dip a little.
I would say 12 months.
Where are they at? I mean, 4.5?
Right now, no, they're still above 5. The last ones we did were still above 5.
Okay.
But these, the stabilization is at 5.47 right now, and then the airport fund is at 5.15. My guess would probably stay somewhere around 5.15 with a 12-month. It's kind of what we've been seeing the last couple of months. So we're not, like the mayor said, we're not getting the rate we were on the 3 and 6 month, 6 months ago. So.
We're not necessarily need anything to be liquidated at this point, are we?
No, the Jet 8 projects, the fuel trucks, about the only projects we got going on at this point. We're not looking at starting the taxi overlay in Lightsville this year. It's next year. It's next year, right. So no, 12 months. And we're going through an election year, so it'd be nice to have stability while we go through the ups and downs of that.
I'll move that we make recommendation to renew the 2 CDs, number 51033 and number 4790192 for 12 months, the best rate.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Call the roll, please.
Parker,
Yes.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Mossberg,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Loxton,
Yes. Go on to the next item, remarks and inquiries by airport commission members. Anybody have anything?
I know I wasn't here last meeting, but did want to kind of make mention with this group that had a lot of great responses about survival flight being here, kind of the way the service has worked out, been going. So like all involved decision has been a great thing for the community. So
I had been in contact with a company in the aviation industry, I'll just leave it at that, for attending the Lieutenant Governor's turkey hunt. And they were coming, but they've dropped out. And I guess if there's anybody that you're aware of, the turkey hunt is going to be next month, and it's an economic development event, and so we're looking for groups who are interested in building or expanding in Alva and Woods County. If there's anyone that you can think of that we might want to extend an invitation to come look at Alva or come look at Alva again, let me know. We've got some space.
next item, remarks and inquiries by citizens. And we have nothing there, so we'll adjourn.